Welcome everybody to another message. I will try to present one to you. You notice it's bigger than most usual. It'll be a two-part. So we'll try to get to the first part today and then get the rest later. I want to talk about a very important subject. And I should have a longer word here. It should be mankind. Right? Not just men. But I want to talk about man. Okay? There's quite a history with men, and right today we're getting a picture in our world of what is going on around the world, and it's terrifying. But I want to deal with something a little different than that. I want to talk about this. The current time we're in. I hope you can read that. The present age that we're in right now. And when you think, we say, really the question is, who are we? And when you think about it, we are who we are right now, but the reason we're that way is there's been a lot of influences in our lives. The way you were raised at home, and some of your ancestry, some things like that. So we're looking at the present age in light of time, and to get a better picture of who we are and what's going on, we need to look at our past, right? That has a lot to do with it. We learn from history, we learn by experience. Sometimes we don't like those experiences, right? Sometimes we're not happy with the way that we are doing things even. But I wanted to talk about the present age in light of what the past is all about. Because what I want to point out too first probably is that we have been born, and my wife will be interested in this, I think. I've got to figure my word out here so I can get it. Not very good, but I hope you can figure it out. Man's history is one of rebellion. And if you don't believe me, let's go back to the first man ever created, Adam. Adam, God created a beautiful garden for him and wanted him to take care of it and all that. And apparently, God would come down and have fellowship with Adam. And of all the things he did to Adam and for Adam, he did so much for Adam. And apparently Adam was comfortable with God. The voice of God walking in the garden, and Adam apparently had fellowship with God, talked to him and all that. And God gave him instructions about his garden. He said, now in the garden, there's a lot of trees, but in the middle, there's two trees you need to know about. One is the tree of life. As long as you eat from that tree, you'll live. The other one is the tree of good and evil, right and wrong. He said, don't eat from that one, because when you eat from that tree, you'll die. Now, a good, straightforward, obedient person, guess what they do? They'd eat the tree of life. They forget that other one and say, never touch that thing. But guess what he did? An act of rebellion. He wasn't going to have. Now, my wife tells me that we're born kind of like that anyhow. That she tells me that for little kids, probably some of the first two words they learn are mine and no. In other words, they want their way. And if you're a parent, you've been through that with your kids, haven't you? Having to try to teach them to obey. And they don't like that. And some of them do pretty good, but they go through this spell in their late teens, usually, or at least in their teenage years, that they really don't want to do what you tell them to do, and they live in rebellion. They may sneak around about it, but nonetheless, that's what they do. They are living in rebellion. And so we're talking about Adam. He set the stage, and guess what? Genetically, that rebellion passed on to you, and I have that too. We've got that rebellion thing. And so if there's some things that happens when you do that we don't like, And some of us realize that Adam had some shame about him. In fact, he had guilt, he had fear. Because when God came to the garden and there to see Adam, usually Adam was happy to greet him. But you know what? Today, he couldn't do that. God came into the garden and he didn't see Adam. He says, Adam, Adam, where are you? And Adam was hiding. He said, I'm hiding. And the Lord said to him, why are you hiding? Well, there's a reason. He had shame, he had guilt, and fear. He didn't want to see God. And you and I have to admit, when we've done something not good, we don't want to talk about God very much, do we? But I want to spend a little bit of time with this one too, because we talk about our past. And we have to talk about our past in light of what we remember. And we don't like to think about the things we done wrong. We like to talk about the things that went well. We don't like to talk about the things that we've done wrong. But if we remember right, I think all of us that have things that we are ashamed of, that we feel guilty about, see, that runs in our lives. Because from Adam, I didn't put his name there, from Adam on down, he got that curse. And as in Adam, all died. The death we know today is because of Adam. I really believe Adam was created to live forever. When God said that you're going to die when you do that, something in Adam was taken away from him, so he wasn't going to live forever. So it's a sad thing, but that's the way it is. So we do remember those things. And I don't know about you, but for me, there's a lot of things I could look back in my life, and I don't look at it with pride. But look back at it with, have you ever done anything you regret? When you look back over your span of life, you think to yourself, I wish I would have never done that. I think we all go through that, don't we? That we've done things that we know that are not proper and good. And by the way, there is a word for this. What is it? Sin. We don't think about it. Now, you and I probably would be willing to think if you murder somebody, boy, that's a sin. Or any one of a number of things, robbing people or whatever. But how many of us like to think that if I tell a lie, that's a sin? And God's laws are exact. They're not like the patrolman that pulls you over because you're doing 5 miles an hour over the speed limit or 6 miles an hour over the speed limit. We think, well, he'll just warn me. He'll just let me off the hook because it's just that much over. Most people go 10 miles over, and I only go 5 miles over, so I'm sure that I can get him just to be kind to me and be merciful to me and not give me a ticket, just a warning. And we think God is not like that. His law is absolute. He's not like a big guy up there ready to beat you down. He's wanting to forgive us and to take us to be with him. But anyway, we regret the things we've done. We don't think of them as sin, but a lot of what we've done that we regret are sinful things. But of course, a lot of things we've done or wish we would have done isn't sin. We just regret we didn't do better or whatever. But there's things we've done that we know are wrong, and so we think to ourselves, there surely, I don't like the feeling of guilt that I've got, because guilt comes with sin. And we start wondering, is there a way that we could pay our way out of this? Believe me, there's a lot of people that would do that if they could. To get rid of guilt, they would open up their purse, whatever it takes to get past guilt. I don't know about you. I don't like to feel guilty. Do you? No, I don't want to feel shame. I don't want to have guilt. I don't even want to have sin. But guess what? Because of Mr. Adam, that's who we are. It's unavoidable. That's who we are. So, there's another one. Somebody may say, well, surely something can be done about it to get me out of this problem. And so, said, surely, I made a mistake here probably. Again, I'm doing that quite comedy. Oh, there we go. I think we're going to get there. Surely there's a way that I can get out of this. Surely there's a remedy. How many of us are looking for a remedy for our wrongs? But you know, if that is in the past, more than likely there's nothing you can do about it. You can just live with it and have the shame, the guilt, the fear, all of it is hanging in there. And we can all say, thank you, Mr. Adam. Did God love Adam? Well, certainly did. That's why he created him, for fellowship. So God did love Adam. But still, Adam disobeyed God. And that disobedience, I put rebellion here, but I could have put just disobedience. It's been the same thing. Disobeying God. Mr. Adam did it, and that's who man is. Man is made in the image of Adam. Our tendency is to do what Adam did, disobey God. And the Bible says that because of that, it leads to death. And I've never seen anybody do, but I've heard about people worrying themselves to death. I don't know how that works, but I know this. There's a lot of grief and sorrow in all of this, guilt, all of that. And left alone, guess what? God has a place prepared for Satan and his crowd. But guess what? He's also got a place for those that follow him, called heaven. So he wants you to come to heaven, but you got to determine what are you going to do. So I think I'm going to bring this part of this to a close now and tell you what we'll be looking at next. Having a hard time with my brushes today. And I don't do a good job on these things, trying to talk and do it all at once. But we're going to talk about our future. Right? So we know what the present is, and that's who we are. We've got this thing of rebellion. We don't even like to think about it, but it's really true. From childhood on, we don't want nobody telling us what to do. We want to decide ourselves. So we live with that, and then we got the memory, the remembering of it, and then we have the regret, the shame, the guilt, and trying to think of some way to make up the difference. And surely there is a remedy. So come back next time, and we'll put what the future holds for us.